Hi, first graders. It's Mrs. Briggs here with another reading lesson, and this is another two-day lesson. And our story today is called The Hat, but it is with Frog and Toad. And I know some of you have read some of the Frog and Toad stories before. So let's take a look at our reading targets for today. Frog and Toad, The Hat, is on pages 209 through 219 in your green book. It's the green book with the rabbits on the front. If it is day 1, we are working on describing the central message or the lesson in this story. So what lesson did Frog and Toad learn in this story, or what was the central message of the story? If it is day 2, we are retelling the story using beginning, middle, and end. So just a reminder, your story is in your green book. I do have it on the screen for you as well. Okay, so I'm starting on page 206 to look at some of the words we need to know. So we have a present for Toad. Oh, we have that OA pattern with the long O sound. Toad. The next story is about a birthday present that's the wrong size. Discover how Frog makes the present fit. Have you ever gotten anything that was the wrong size? What did you do to make it fit? I wonder what Frog is going to do. Here are some words to know. We have able, smaller, eyes, larger, present, biggest, and thoughts. Let's read these sentences together. Number 1, Frog wanted to get a present for Toad. Frog had many thoughts. What if the present was a hat? If the hat was smaller than Toad's head, it wouldn't fit. If the hat was larger than Toad's head, it wouldn't fit. If Frog got the biggest hat, it would cover Toad's eyes. Would Frog be able to get the right present? All right, on page 208, you can read about the author, Arnold Lobel. We're going to go ahead and get started with our story today. Days with Frog and Toad. And this one is called The Hat. So again, if it's day 1, we're listening for what is the central message or the lesson in this story. If it is day 2, we are thinking about how we can retell this story with beginning, middle, and end. The Hat. On Toad's birthday, Frog gave him a hat. Toad was delighted, is very happy. Happy birthday, said Frog. Toad put on the hat. It fell down over his eyes. I am sorry, said Frog. That hat is much too big for you. I will give you something else. Oh, look, the hat is too big. No, said Toad. This hat is your present to me. I like it. I will wear it the way it is. Have you ever gotten something that was too big and maybe someone wanted to return it for you, but you said, no, I'm going to keep it because this is special. It's from you. Well, that's Toad right now. Frog and Toad went for a walk. Toad tripped over a rock. He bumped into a tree. He fell in a hole. Frog, said Toad, I can't see anything. I will not be able to wear your beautiful present. This is a sad birthday for me. Why can't he see anything with the hat on? It's too big. Frog and Toad were sad for a while. Then Frog said, Toad, here's what you must do. Tonight when you go to bed, you must think some very big thoughts. Those big thoughts will make your head grow larger. In the morning, your new hat may fit. What a good idea, said Toad. Do you think it's going to work? That night, when Toad went to bed, he thought the biggest thoughts that he could think. Toad thought about giant sunflowers. He thought about tall oak trees. He thought about high mountains covered with snow. Then Toad fell asleep. Frog came into Toad's house. He came in quietly. Oh, what do you think Frog is going to do? He's holding Toad's hat. Frog found the hat and took it to his house. Frog poured some water on the hat. He put the hat in a warm place to dry. It began to shrink. That hat grew smaller and smaller. Frog went back to Toad's house. Toad was still fast asleep. Frog put the hat back on the hook where he found it. When Toad woke up in the morning, he put the hat on his head. Do you think it's going to fit now? Let's see. It was just the right size. Toad ran to Frog's house. "Frog, Frog," he cried, "all those big thoughts have made my head much larger. Now I can wear your present." Frog and Toad went for a walk. Toad did not trip over a rock. He did not bump into a tree. He did not fall in a hole. It turned out to be a very pleasant day after Toad's birthday. Okay, so just some reminders. If it is day 1, I want you to think about what was the central message in that story. And to help with that, think about the problem and how it was solved. If it's day 2, I want you to, on Seesaw, fill in the beginning, middle, and end for this story. Who were our characters? Frog and Toad. Where did they start off in the story? What was the setting at the beginning? In the middle, what was the problem? And how did they solve that problem at the end? Don't forget to post your replies or your responses on Seesaw. If you have any questions, message your teacher and have fun.